Less than 2 weeks until the local government elections. Tonight, ANC President CYRIL Ramaphosa will lead a roll call event, first of its kind for the ANC.
Yeah, definitely, and they're boasting about it. Councillor candidates will be signing pledges, and Ramaphosa will address the event at around 8 o'clock. We will take that live. Let's get reaction to this one. Power to Truth host Dr JJ Tabane joining us. JJ? So the ANC is reckoning that this pledge is going to make sure that they have honest candidates, they're going to do their jobs properly, ensure service delivery, they're not going to be corrupt. Is it all a show?
You know the phrase that says desperate times called for desperate measures. Now, the last time we had, on the back of the manifesto, we talked about what Prince Mashele called believability. And that's really where the rubber hits the road. You know, so the ANC knows this. They know that people don't believe them anymore, right? You've just seen this stadium issue, disaster. By the way, you don't have to go to Eastern Cape. You just have to go here in Ukuruleni. There's a stadium there that only did a foundation. Yet in the books, in the annual report, glowing annual reports, it's millions that have been spent there. So it's not something, it's not far-flung issue, right? So given the lack of believability, the ANC has to come up with something that would give people who are on the fence just that one more 5-year nudge to say maybe they'll do better this time. And in fact, even their manifesto says we will do better. So it's a psychological game that says, please, you know, this is still the ANC of Oliver Tambo and Nelson Mandela. Please don't throw us under the bus. But to do this, we're going to get you to choose. So it's all desperate measure. We're going to get the communities to choose the candidates. We saw over the weekend, Thandi Modise had to go and interview in Northwest saying, we don't know who these people are. So even that gimmick of getting people who are not your members to choose your candidates, which is crazy, because it means you don't have enough people in your own party to field, because you have to go to your community and then work on the psychology of the community that they will think they are voting for someone they know, when in fact at the end that person will be drowned out by ANC policies and in most instances incompetence when we see what's happening in municipalities. So the pledge thing is simply an elections gimmick, right? You know, I don't even know why you guys will call me out of my break to come here on a Tuesday.
We'd love to see you, that's really why.
You know,
We'd love to see you.
I'm sorry, there's nothing new, but it's an important thing. If only civil servants took those pledges, because remember the pledge is nothing different from the oath of office in Parliament. How many people had to resign from Parliament, the Zweli Mkhize of this world? They took even an oath in front of a judge. So surely, just to name something different and expect different results is not going to cut it. But I'm keen to hear what the president has to say. Maybe he's giving new marching orders to people and so on. I'll tell you what will make a difference. If he could tell me, as he does these pledges and so, that in the 5 years that he has been in charge, right, he was first deputy, then he became president and so he has a 5 years where he has had oversight as both president of the country and then later on president of the ANC and then president of the country again. Who has he fired in these municipalities who departed from their pledge? Remember, they did a pledge as councillors. They also take an oath of office. So we can't be sold something brand new here. You know,
I hear your point, and it's a good one, but the reality is when things get to court, it gets really sticky because, I mean, just today, we've got Ace Magashule, that's postponed until his birthday, the 3rd of November. That matter, he's alleging, why am I here? I'm being accused of oversight problems which isn't a crime, and it's all a big political conspiracy. Mandla Msibi, he is accused of 2 murders. He's the fired Mpumalanga Agriculture MEC. He's saying the right things about, look, it's absolutely right that I was told to step aside, but also he is saying there's political things at play. And now with the fired health minister, Zweli Mkhize, he's fighting back with the SIU report, saying, again, it's destroyed my political career, it's completely wrong, I was never asked for half the details that they've put into that report. So as soon as it gets into that level where you try to get rid of someone, then all these counter-accusations come in, and then there's postponements, and our judicial system's a little bit all over the place. So it is very hard to fire someone.
No, it's true, but also in some instances, not necessarily true unless you make it so. So, say for example, that sentiment that is hard to fire somebody is always attached to government, right? To say in government, it's a long process and so on. But actually, if you follow that process, you can fire someone because the incompetence is so much that if they say give 3 warnings, you can give them within a month or 2 and the person will actually be out, right? It's just that because of the moral depravity, everyone is going to try and say, I'm innocent until proven guilty, hoping that because of them hollowing out, the NPA hollowing out, capturing judges or magistrates, buying magistrates, etc., then they will get away with it. Let me tell you another example that will help you explain all the 4 you have given now. Tony Ngeni, who ended up in prison, took out a full-page ad in the Sunday Times to say how innocent he was. You know how much a full-page ad in the Sunday Times is? R500,000 rand. He paid that to say, I'm innocent. He should have just written an opinion piece. They were going to publish it. But no, he wanted to make sure it's published. Right? He went to jail because he thought that if he does that and stokes the political fires, it will make him to get away with it. Same with Jacob Zuma. Jacob Zuma thought he's so powerful, a big man syndrome in Africa, as usual. He's going to just tell the judges to go away and they'll be afraid to deal with him because the country will burn. Right? So it's same with Ismail Hashule. The indictment is the length of my arm, man. You know, and then he picks one thing and says, oh, they're saying oversight. He's not saying they're saying fraud, corruption, racketeering. You know why? Same with Zweli Mkhize. They think, right, and this is obvious, it doesn't need a political scientist. They think if I take cash, then it's untraceable, then that's how I'm going to get away with it. So they must go to court and prove that I have the cash. I've already spent it. There's no trace of it in my bank account. They think like that. They don't take into account, you know, people telling about them behind their back. They don't take into account cameras in the place where they're drawing these things. They don't take into account whistleblowers. All these things, when they steal the money in cash, they don't think it's going to catch up with them. The murder case, by the way, last night I had someone from Mpumalanga here from some civic association, Mashishin Civic Coalition, who says, no, actually the MEC was framed. You're talking about him denying. They say, no, because he was a whistleblower. You see? Yeah. So we need to have faith in the justice system. At some point, they're saying that the what do you call it? The arm of the law is very long. You can run, but you really can hide, right? So at some point, the NPA must start showing us less arrests and indictments and more convictions. Yeah. And then at that point, the penny will drop that nobody is above the law. I think we're getting there. Yeah. With the Zuma thing, I think people are realizing that, if Zuma can be arrested, who am I?
Mkhize has been fired, Msibi has been fired, Ace has been suspended. So I suppose in that sense, to be fair, there has been some progress.
It's a long process, but
until they're in prison, then that progress will mean something.
Yeah.
You know?
All right, JJ Tabane, thank you so much for your insight. I appreciate it.
All right.
That, of course, was JJ Tabane, and he hosts A Power to Truth here on eNCA, and he'll be back on your screens tomorrow night at 8 o'clock.